Serhiy Naiv, the commander of the Joint Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, urged the residents of the northern border regions of Ukraine to leave. Kyiv reported that Russia fired 20 attack drones designed by Iran at targets in southern Ukraine overnight and that its air defense systems shot down all but one. Russian attacks in the eastern city of Kharkiv and Odessa on the Black Sea injured 17 people, according to Ukrainian authorities. Poland said Ukraine could not join NATO until the war was over. A British intelligence report said Russia would likely have to rethink restricting the areas of operation of its aircraft after the Russian A-50 long-range radar detection aircraft was destroyed on Sunday. President Volodymyr Zelensky's office said Western companies gave Russia $2.9 billion worth of components that could be used for military production in the first 10 months of 2023 despite sanctions on Moscow. Russia claimed its forces conducted a precision strike on a building in Ukraine's Kharkiv on Tuesday that housed foreign fighters, mostly French mercenaries, and killed more than 60 people. Local police said a Russian air raid killed a woman and injured 2 children in the village of Maly Berlik in the Kupiansk district, Kharkiv region. Russia repeated its claim that its forces had conducted a precision strike on a building in Ukraine's second city Kharkiv that housed foreign fighters. The Defense Ministry said the fighters were mostly French mercenaries and the building was demolished on Tuesday, with more than 60 people killed. It did not offer proof. 2 Russian missiles injured 17 people, 2 of them critically, and destroyed homes in a residential area in the center of Kharkiv on Tuesday, local officials said. Russia's defense ministry said Russian forces hit 2 Ukrainian radar stations, a fuel depot, and 3 ammunition depots today. It also said the Russian forces targeted a temporary base of foreign fighters in Ukraine and 103 artillery units in firing positions, manpower, and military equipment in 119 areas. Local police said a Russian air raid killed a woman and injured 2 children in the village of Maly Berlik in the Kupiansk district, Kharkiv region. A guided bomb was dropped on the village council building in Maly Berlik. 2 children were injured. Sasha, 10, who lost his leg, and Alina, 13, who sustained shrapnel injuries, are in the hospital. During the examination of the attack scene, the police found the body of a woman. She is being identified, the police said. Ukraine said it opened a criminal case under Article 438, violation of laws and rules of war, of the Criminal Code of Ukraine. Poland Foreign Minister Radoslaw Sikorski said the government was exploring how to produce more ammunition and military equipment as part of a new aid package for Ukraine. Warsaw and Kyiv have been close allies during Russia's war in Ukraine, but their relations suffered last year because of a conflict over grain imports and a blockade of some border crossings by Polish truckers who wanted the European Union to restore a permit system for Ukrainian hauliers. Sikorski showed his commitment to improve ties by visiting Ukraine last month, soon after he joined the new pro-Western government, and the new government said it had a new aid package for Kyiv. We are looking at all issues to do with Ukraine with fresh eyes, Sikorski told Reuters news agency in an interview at the World Economic Forum in the Swiss ski resort of Davos. We're examining what options we have of making more ammunition and equipment, and also what we still have in our stores. Russia is developing its relations with North Korea in all areas, including sensitive ones, according to Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov. The remarks came after North Korea's foreign minister held rare talks in the Kremlin with President Vladimir Putin, who has been invited by leader Kim Jong-un to visit the reclusive nuclear-armed country. The Democratic People's Republic of Korea is our very important partner, and we are focused on the further development of our relations in all areas, including in sensitive areas, Peskov told reporters. Putin has strengthened his relationship with North Korea since he sent troops into Ukraine in 2022. And the United States and its allies have denounced what they say have been large North Korean missile shipments to Russia to support its war effort. A Russian air raid injured an elderly couple in their 60s and a 54-year-old man in the Kherson town of Berislav, the chairman of the Kherson Regional State Administration, Alexander Prokudin, said. The Radio Liberty Project Crimea, Realii reported that its film crew was attacked by artillery while making a television story in southern Ukraine. Journalist Dmitry Evchen's leg was wounded by shrapnel near the village of Robotyne, Zaporozhye region. The Ukrainian military gave him first aid and moved him to a nearby village, and then took him to a hospital in Zaporozhye. Doctors said his operation went well and Evchen would stay in intensive care for now. President Volodymyr Zelensky's office said Western companies gave Russia $2.9 billion worth of components that could be used for military production in the first 10 months of 2023 despite sanctions on Moscow. It also said Russia's 2023 imports of military goods were 90% of the levels that were recorded before the full-scale invasion in February 2022. The office mentioned research by a working group led by Zelensky's chief of staff, Andriy Yermak, and Michael McFaul, a former U.S. ambassador to Moscow. The research examined Russian attempts to bypass export control sanctions on military goods. The products of more than 250 Western companies were found in samples of destroyed or captured Russian weapons, Zelensky's office said. British Foreign Secretary David Cameron has appealed for U.S. lawmakers to approve new assistance to Ukraine, saying it would serve U.S. interests not to appease Russia. President Joe Biden's administration at the end of 2023 allocated a last batch of military aid to Ukraine as it struggles to persuade legislators of the rival Republican Party to approve some $61 billion in new funding. Fundamentally, there is a majority of Congress in support. We just need to find it, Cameron told reporters at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. The former conservative prime minister said that Ukraine's war affects Europe but is about American security, too. History demonstrates to us that if you appease an aggressor in Europe, the aggressor comes back for more, he said.